Welcome to Africanews. I'm with Hicham Ben Yaish, a geopolitical expert and the editor-in-chief of New African magazine. Good morning. Today, we're talking about the rift between Algeria and Morocco. Traditionally, relations between Algeria and its Moroccan neighbor have been very difficult, mainly because of the Western Saharan dispute. What are the other reasons for this rift?
En réalité, on sent ces derniers mois une exacerbation de...
In reality, in recent months, we've had an increased tension between the two countries. Above all, in reality, Morocco has made the Sahrawi issue its national cause, actually a sacred cause for decades. It is at the heart of Moroccan diplomacy, and especially since the last few months, that Morocco has initialized a new relationship with countries like Israel and the United States. This has brought up mixed anxiety here. Does Algeria feel like it is at the heart of a game from these pending circumstances? Plus what happened in Kabylia with the wildfires? There were questions that needed to be asked. For instance, was it a plot against Algeria? Even at home, there was an investigation to determine the origin of these wildfires. But the relationship has been exacerbated and can go very, very far between these two countries. This has actually led to a breakup between them. This is an extremely serious decision for the region, for both countries, because we are heading to an era where the two countries will be cold to each other, and this will further complicate their relations in this region.
How has the Kabylia issue come into play in this crisis? Algiers have accused Morocco and Israel of supporting the movement for the independence of Kabylia, as well as the Ismo-conservative organization Rashad.
In reality, the issue of Kabylia is a very sensitive matter to both Algeria and Morocco, in particular through the Kabylia independence movement, as it can be manipulated by others, like for instance, Israel. Morocco has never risked going to this law because this will bear consequences for both countries. And therefore, Algeria has actually reaffirmed its support for the Sahrawi. Morocco found an opportunity to provoke Algeria, in our opinion, on this issue of Kabylia.
The issue that worries Morocco the most is the possibility of the closure of the Maghreb-Europe gas pipeline, which have been connecting Algerian fields to Europe via the Moroccan kingdom since 1996 and whose contract expires next October. What could be the consequences?
In any way, the consequences will be actually heavy because, in reality, one follows the policy of diplomacy and its geographical position, especially in this case, Morocco, that has less resources. So the fact that there is this gas pipeline project, which will also supply Morocco with the much-needed gas, this will obviously impact the region and the two countries, and especially this lack of integration among countries within this region. So I think that this renewal is really going to be a very negative factor, and I hope it is a decision that will not be made because it is going to be a very cumbersome decision in terms of consequences.
Une décision très lourde en termes de conséquences.
Well, thank you so much for your insight. Mr. Hicham Ben Yaish is the editor-in-chief of New African magazine. Stay tuned to African News. The news continues in French and in English.